Mr. Speaker, I'd like to address a concerning situation in the world of artificial intelligence that has developed over the last couple weeks. Following the release of OpenAI's newest ChatGPT model, which has demonstrated some truly breathtaking, amazing features and capabilities that are going to have wide-ranging applications that I think we're only just beginning to understand. But after that release, there has been an exodus from the company of employees who are there to focus on issues related to safety. And the reason for this was stated by Jan Kiley, who was the leader of the team at OpenAI responsible for safety and alignment issues. This is what he said. This is what Jan Kiley said. I joined because I thought OpenAI would be the best place in the world to do research. However, I have been disagreeing with OpenAI leadership about the company's core priorities for quite some time, until we finally reached a breaking point. I believe much more of our bandwidth should be spent getting ready for the next generation of models on security, monitoring, preparedness, safety, adversarial robustness, super alignment, and confidentiality, societal impact, and related topics. These problems are quite hard to get right, and I am concerned we aren't on a trajectory to get there. Over the past few months, Jan writes, my team has been sailing against the wind. Sometimes we were struggling for compute, and it was getting harder and harder to get this crucial research done. Building smarter than human machines is an inherently dangerous endeavor. OpenAI is shouldering an enormous responsibility on behalf of all humanity. But over the past few years, safety culture and processes have taken a back seat to shiny products. We are long overdue in getting incredibly serious about the implications of AGI, meaning artificial general intelligence. We must prioritize preparing for them as best we can. This is what the outgoing leader of safety and alignment issues at OpenAI recently said on Twitter, on X. Now, I am not intending to criticize OpenAI. I have no basis to assess the veracity of the claims that were just read. I like everyone else, have been truly dazzled by what the company has been able to accomplish. But I think that this exodus of safety employees and this particular testimonial for the person leading the alignment team should be a wake-up call for many of us who have perhaps not been giving this issue of safety and alignment in the development of artificial intelligence the attention that it deserves. In fact, I don't know if there has ever been a time where the consequences, the stakes of a particular issue are so wildly disproportionate to the small level of attention that's being paid to it. The basic issue here is that as AI systems become more advanced, as their capabilities become more sophisticated, the risks are heightened as well when it comes to many things, when it comes to privacy, when it comes to confidentiality, when it comes to potential misuses, which are limitless, and when it comes to the alignment of those capabilities with the well-being of the machine's creator, with the well-being of humanity. Now, this is an issue that the company has been focusing on at OpenAI. They have, of course, this whole team there. There's been some discussion about what percentage of their overall compute has been dedicated to it. If you believe the testimonial here, it is less and less. But the company itself, as well as perhaps to a greater degree, other leading AI companies, understand this to be an extremely important issue, especially as these models scale up and become more sophisticated and new capabilities emerge, sometimes perhaps in an unsophisticated way. The important thing that's been understood by many is that we need to make sure our sophistication in aligning those systems with our own objectives proceeds in a way that is commensurate to the sophistication of their capabilities. And I am concerned that that is no longer the case, that perhaps things are developing more quickly on the capabilities end than on the safety end. And what I think the wake-up call that we need to take from what's happened at OpenAI is that we simply can't rely on any particular company, or even all of them collectively, to prioritize safety to the extent that is needed. And so I do think there is some role for us here in Congress to catalyze safety research, to try to assure the proper incentives for companies to invest in safety as much as they are investing in product development and other things. Now, there are some states, and perhaps even some folks here, who are already proposing new regulations that would hamstring this technology, that would stand in the way of developing more advanced models. Personally, I think that is the wrong approach for a number of reasons. First of all, it's not at all clear that it's going to actually be successful in limiting the development of these technologies. And if it is, it would only apply to us here in the US and our jurisdiction, whereas our potential adversaries in other countries could continue to develop this technology unabated and in a way that poses a risk to the United States, our competitiveness, and our national security. But moreover, to try to block the further development of AI will limit the manifold benefits that are now appearing before us, that are limitless. As these models become more and more advanced, so too do their applications in the fields of medicine, in the fields of transportation, in basically any field that you can think of. We have seen applications already, and these applications are only going to become greater and greater, that have enormous potential to save lives, to extend lives, and to enhance the quality of life. And so the position from a humanist point of view should be one of not trying to hold the development of that potential back, but rather trying to assure that it proceeds in a manner that unlocks the benefits while mitigating the risks. And those risks will perhaps become most pronounced as we work towards what is commonly called AGI, which was referenced in that series of tweets, artificial general intelligence. Now, there's a lot of debate on this topic among people who know a lot more about it than I do. But there are many who believe that it's not that far away, that it's much closer than we might have thought even a few years ago. That is the creation of an AI system that has the capacity to outperform human intelligence across multiple domains, or across all domains. And what's more, once AGI is achieved, if indeed it is achieved, then the capabilities could well accelerate in a very rapid manner from there on out. So that's why many who focus on issues related to AI safety have emphasized the need to get the safety question right urgently before that threshold is crossed. And indeed, when Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, was here last year, I asked him straight up, how close are you to developing AGI? And he basically said they're one big breakthrough away. And that was a while ago. So I don't think anyone really knows how close we are or what that will look like. But I think there is an urgent need to prepare for that day by doing everything we possibly can to assure that as capabilities develop in an unpredictable way, we have done the groundwork to make sure that those capabilities are aligned to our objectives and serve human purposes and don't have the potential to serve other purposes or to misinterpret their commands in a way that has grave consequences. So I've introduced a bill, a bipartisan bill, that I think is a modest proposal that will help us get there. It will have the National Institute of Health create a grant program that will fund basic research into AI safety. And I think that that is something that would be helpful, that would be a start. In fact, I ran the idea by the CEO of OpenAI itself, Sam Altman. He thought it was a good idea, and I think that it would help us get moving in the right direction. But I think it's also important at the same time that we make sure that the companies themselves have the right incentives to prioritize safety and alignment in the way that is needed. So I look forward to working with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, and we also have an AI task force being led by my colleague Jay Obernolte from California, who's done some tremendous work in this area. And I think it's urgently important that we begin to think about our role in assuring that artificial intelligence ushers in the best possible future while mitigating the risks that are in front of us.